Welcome to class. We're celebrating support for ourselves today through the use of blocks and strap and blanket. And if you don't have any of the props, you can still follow our basic practice anyway. So join us, and anything we say is a suggestion. If you want to take another pose to make yourself more comfortable, do that. We'll begin in a seated position. So, and also we're going to use the strap. So if you have that strap handy, we'll be using that to begin with. And we'll do a little fashion with our strap. And you can take whatever seat you'd like, whether it's kneeling or sitting up on the edge of a blanket in cross-legged position. If you do, or you can sit on a chair. If you do sit up on the edge of that blanket, make sure you're sitting on the edge and that your pelvis is tilting slightly forward so you can have that lovely curve in the lumbar spine. So to get into our seated meditation, let's try seated meditation with a little support behind us. So let's take that strap, if you have one, and just fold it in half. And then take the folded part and place it behind you into the middle of the back. So right between the shoulder blades. And then separate the strap and take it under the armpits there. So we're like this. And then hold the straps in front of you. And then you can just take those two straps and go over the shoulder like a backpack. And then so it's going to be like this when it's on your back. Okay, so the straps are hanging down. I'll just give you a moment to get situated like that. The strap is across underneath the shoulder blades. And we're going to have the straps going down the back like so. So if you've got them hanging vertically, now you're going to cross them. So reach back and cross those straps and see that they are not too twisted there. And if you hold on to the ends of the straps with your hands, you'll feel the cross of the straps on the back surface of your upper back. And it'll look like this. And I'll turn around, and this is our new jacket here. So strap jacket, you're going to take this, and then the two ends will meet in front. Now because straps are made so differently out there, I'm going to suggest if you have a buckle, you can buckle it. If you have a metal strap, you can tighten that. And if you just have a belt and no straps or things like that, just improvising, I've often tied it right in front of my sternum, right under the sternum there. So whatever works for you to be able to sit in your meditation with that strap jacket on. So you will feel the difference when you take it off, trust me. So let's take this on and find our way of fastening. Personally, my shortcut is to simply do a tie off. So there we go. Take a moment and make sure that the strap is supporting that reach back of your shoulders. So you've got a nice, it doesn't have to be super tight. Just a reminder that we can roll those shoulders back when we're sitting up, which is often how we don't end up, right? We're at those computers, laptops, wherever we are sitting, we're often like waiting in a doctor's office and we're hunched over, right? So this is a way to remind us that there's a different possibility. You can roll the shoulders back, you can align your skull and your sacrum and enjoy that curve in the lower spine, and then take the hands to the thighs wherever you're seated and just feel that equilibrium between the shoulders. Inhale and feel as you inhale, the shoulders will lift slightly towards the ears. And as you exhale, feel them drop away from the ears. And now you notice that gentle support, closing the eyes, cut out the visual distractions, and let's meditate on the breath, noticing the quality of the breath. So the gateway to our conscious breath is the witnessing breath. noticing the quality we have coming in to our practice, so that when we finish the practice, we can notice the quality that we leave with. Gentle inhale, gentle exhale. Noticing with the shoulders supported, with the upper back supported, perhaps you feel an expansion in your breath already, or you notice that the breath is able to take in more capacity on that inhale. And you can gently feel the effect of the exhale, that contraction of the abdominals. How does it feel to breathe with this support around you? If you would like to ever use this thoracic jacket while you're at your computer, I recommend it for a little break. And now let's slide into that conscious breath. Another gateway deeper into our practice. Conscious breathing. So let's do our Ujjayi breath. We have an audible breath that sips in through the nose, through the nostrils. You can feel that breath in the back of the throat. Feel the path of the breath, and then the ribs expand into that strap, all directions. Now exhale, that same path through the back of the throat. We're giving a nice energy to that throat chakra. Exhaling completely. This is often a breath that you might notice the body take as you slip into sleep. A soothing sound. Another few rounds of breath, allowing the communication of this breath sound to radiate to those limbs. To relax more each exhale, dropping, noticing your anchor. So we're using our prop supports today for many reasons, for visual, for sensory reminders of how we can align ourselves, but then also for an anchor, just an extra anchoring to support our practice. You can come back to Ujjayi breath anytime as we practice, preferably carry it with you through our hour together. Great. Flutter the eyes open. Feel the difference. Now allow the fingertips to drop to the floor. It's a lot easier to sit up tall this way. So reach the crown of the head towards the sky. And then feel the freedom in the neck as we turn the chin over the right shoulder. And then through center, inhale, exhale to the left. And take another trip over to the right. And this time, as you gaze over your right shoulder, pressing through those fingertips, dip the chin towards the right shoulder. And trace that line into the center along your collarbone with the chin. And you'll end up looking down at that tall heart space. Nice back of the neck stretch here. And then inhale, draw the line up towards the sky with the chin. And then back to center. Inhale, feel the straps at the rib cage. Exhale, turn over the left shoulder. Pressing through our fingertips, we're going to take the chin towards the left shoulder. Feel that long stretch on the right side, and then trace the line in along the collarbone. Gazing down, a gentle bowing down. Feel that awareness of those neck muscles, and then lift up again to the sky. Looking up and back forward, lift the arms up into our long helicopter propellers here. Inhale, exhale. Let's propel ourselves with that sternum, with the core over to the right, towards the right knee. Twist. And then back through center to the other side. And with the same expansion across your arms, try it again. So that strap and the back, keeping you tall through the thoracic spine and then back and forth. So each time you do it, you'll feel a little more release. Great. And then come back to center, drop the hands. If you're in cross-legged, you might want to change the cross of your legs and then untie or loosen up that strap, and we'll give it another job to do now. Take the strap into both hands in front of the body, about shoulder width apart to begin with. And just hold that out in front. Feel the tension between your hands, connection. Again, thank you, prop. You're giving us that connection between the limbs. Inhale this above the head as you drop the shoulders away from the ears. You can widen that hold on the strap as you reach up. Bring the shoulders up to the ears, and that inhale, and then exhale out all the tension and keep them there. Beautiful. And now we'll take a nice long side bend, keeping that connection between the hands. If you want to widen this, go ahead, or if you want to narrow that. But let's see if we can find the mind's eye traveling to that sits bone on the left. If it tries to lift up, see if you can anchor that down to the blanket. Soften your right ear toward right shoulder. Bringing this stretch into that neck as well. Inhale up. Exhale to the other side. Again, softening the left ear toward left shoulder. Full spinal experience here. Travel and that arc down to the right sits bone and anchor it. And then back again. We'll take another nice travel over. And then using the opposite strap to lift you up. If that oppositional force is working in harmony. And then come back up, bring the strap in front of you, come into the center of the strap, and drop the left hand, bring the right arm up, and then raise the strap above the head. And then you're going to bring the strap behind you. So it's just vertically plumb line, echoing the line of your spine behind you, raising up at the right, and then bend the right arm and bring that strap hanging towards, the hand is going to come towards the neck, right behind the neck. And then you're going to take the left arm, palm facing behind you, bend the left arm and see if you can find the other side of that strap. And here we have another beautiful thoracic opener. So we're going to have the back of the left hand mid back or maybe towards the upper back. And you can feel the back of your hand supporting you. A little friend behind you, lifting your heart, opening up the collarbones, cow face. This is half cow face on the top here pose. Maybe the fingertips can come together. We've got a tricep stretch on the right side. Inhale. Sound of the breath. Make sure that your head is nice and tall so you're not kind of hunching forward. Unhunching is the idea here. Inhale, exhale, release. Take that strap in front, change hands, left arm, left hand grabs the strap, holds it proudly up above you, hang down the center, perfect, plumb line, bend the left elbow. Feel the hand meet the back of the neck or just below there. Elbow to the sky, reach the right arm over to the side, palm behind you, bend the right elbow, and then the straps meet. Inhale, feel the length of the spine reaching up. Exhale, find the anchor of the sits bones. And maybe those fingertips greet each other along the strap or just hang out where they are. In this tall position with the heart, see if you can find those low ribs and just tuck them in so we have a supported torso. Ujjayi breath. Lovely. Now release. Shake out the shoulders and the arms and just feel the difference. Roll the shoulders behind you and then roll them forward. Great. The next portion we'll do standing up. So let's come to standing position. Yogi's choice, however you'd like to transition to standing, you can move the blanket aside and grab the block or brick on your way up. We're going to lift some bricks. And keep that strap handy because we'll be using that as well. And with a gentle breath supporting you, rising up towards standing. And come through all fours, walk the feet toward the hands, and keep those knees bent as you hinge upward. One way to get up here. So we got the block. And we're going to get a nice awareness through the block tension. We can really begin to take that awareness to the bigger muscles of support for the shoulders. So let's come to mountain pose. Just hang on to that brick and we'll take the toes, spread them out, keep the feet hip width apart. Gently micro bend those knees so we're not locking out. Glutes engaged. Really supporting ourselves here. Let's bring that awareness to the shoulders for this stretch. So I'm going to take to the side just so you can see that posture. Take the yoga block and take it between the palms in front of you. So it's just in front of you, lower action there. Inhale, exhale, find your feet, find that foundation. And if you squeeze the block between the palms, you'll feel that energy of warmth up the arms all the way to the shoulders and perhaps into those bigger muscles like the latissimus dorsi in the back. And then inhale, your next inhale, squeeze the block and come up a few inches, keeping the arms straight. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Continue Ujjayi breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth, as you slowly squeezing that block, come up and lift it up. Lift bricks, lifting the brick. And maybe you'll end up with the arms hug style, reaching out in front of you. In this parallel position to the floor, inhale, take a softening through the hands, so don't squeeze the block. Inhale, exhale, now shoulders away from the ears and squeeze the block. Take a little break there. Continue this path upward, keeping your feet nice and strong, the quads engaged, the glutes engaged in mountain. Now we're just taking a path, rotating through the shoulders, coming on up. Anytime you find a limit here, like it feels pinchy in the shoulders or anything, just don't go any further up. Just keep that reach and length through the arms. But you can see what your capacity is here, reaching up into the diagonal zone, maybe coming up towards above the head. Depending on how far you want to come, make sure you've got that block squeezed and you got the shoulder muscles engaged. And then you can even bend the elbows and bring that block towards the head or towards behind the head. I'll demonstrate above the head. Just bending the arms, bending the elbows so that we're getting a little more rotation through the arms. And then slowly squeezing that brick block, bring it back down towards the floor. Great. Inhale it up, back up to our parallel. So the arms are parallel. Squeeze that block. Notice amazing support muscles you've got back there. that sometimes get not as used as they should. Inhale, exhale, let's release one side of the block and we're going to sweep that block behind us to the sacrum. So arms go back. And then you're going to find the block behind you, behind the sacrum, and squeeze the block. Inhale, notice that expansion across the collarbones. Exhale, feel the palms coming together on that block, tension. Great. Continue the path of breath. Inhale, come towards the front. And then pass the block to the other hand. And then sweep it around to the back. Again, squeezing that block behind you. And then come on back forward. And squeeze the block again. Rise it up towards the top of the head. One more time, bend the elbows. Gently giving that oxygen and mobility to our shoulders. Come on back down, lower the block, and place that block down, and we will grab the strap. Major thoracic therapy today and upper spine. So let's take the strap again under the armpits. Stand in mountain. So we're going to explore that mobility on the mid and upper spine. So the strap is in our both hands in front of the body and just holding it in that parallel position to begin with. Great. So close the eyes momentarily, find that nice long spine. So align the back of the skull with the sacrum. Great. And finding that neutral spine so that you've got your support all along the spine. And now flutter the eyes open. So now we're going to explore a little mobility there. Take the straps and put them in that diagonal direction upwards towards the corner of the room. And you'll notice that's lifting the ribs, keeping your pelvis nice and steady. You're just going to lift up into a back bend here, but a supported back bend as you look up towards the sky. And then come back to neutral. And when you come back to this neutral, now we're going to take the back of the ribs and press them into the strap behind you, holding that tension tight in front of you. Yeah. And then even tilting forward, curving forward, and coming back to neutral. Now, in your neutral stance, slide the strap down a little further. And we're going to take that same trip diagonally upwards. Supporting the breath, supporting that lift, and then back to neutral. And now press the back of that portion of the ribs into the strap. You can even curve forward. You're allowed to hunch a little bit here. Just exploring that tension, and then come back to our neutral through the breath. Exhale, let's take that strap further down. And then we'll see that back bend here supported. Straps towards the diagonal, up. Inhale, exhale, come back to neutral. And then just press the back of the ribs into that strap. Feeling that, and then find your neutral between those 2 points. So when the low ribs are tucked slightly back into that strap, you're really activating those deep core muscles, transverse abdominis, helping our posture so much. Beautiful. Now, take the strap and just hold on to both sides. Grab your block. Come to the bottom of your mat, and you're going to take that block between the thighs. Staying in mountain, and the setting of the block, just allowing your feet to be hip width. So whatever width works for you there. Okay, come to mountain with the strap in between the thighs. And just feel that support. Come back up with the strap up to the armpits. And with that tall support and that feeling of support in the strap in your hands, inhale and squeeze the block. Exhale, begin to hinge at the hips. And just notice this forward bend, really supported as you squeeze the block. Don't lock the knees, and come just tilt forward and then back up to vertical. and then down again. So we're just noticing what that forward bend feels like when we have some little reminders along the way to lead with the heart, not with the shoulders, and to activate that center, that stability along the center of the body. The breath allows you to come on back up. We can drop the strap, place that over to the side, and then keeping that block in between the thighs, just roll the shoulders behind you and forward. Inhale the arms out around the body, wingspan, come up, prayer position above the head, gently squeezing the block. Look up the hands, feel that back bend, and imagine that support that you just had. Now face forward, trace the line down the center of the body with those thumbs past the forehead, the mouth, the throat, down to the heart, path of breath. Again, inhale, expansive. Exhale, come through prayer position again. Inhale again, up. And come through center, stay at the heart, pressing the hands together. Again, even without a prop, we can really squeezing those hands together. We can activate that strong back. And then we're going to bend into chair pose. So keep squeezing that block and sit back, bend the knees, keeping that heart nice and tall, pressing into prayer position. Beautiful. And now sweep the arms up above next to the ears. And then wingspan, reach down for the floor. Keep the knees bent. And we're going to keep that block between the thighs and walk our hands out to down dog. Index finger pointing towards the top of the mat. So keep the knees bent and on tiptoes. And we're going to bring those thighs towards the ribs. First, lengthening through the back. And rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Let's see if we can bring those heels towards the floor. Try that again. Bend the knees. Tiptoe and bringing the heels towards the floor. That anchor, making us stronger, bringing a stronger foundation to our pose. Again, inhale, expand through that spine. Exhale, bend the knees and come into our tabletop. Squeezing the block. We're going to transition right into cat pose. Tuck the tailbone under. Reach up through the back of the spine towards the sky. Exhale, tailbone up. Squeezing the block. Come into cow. Undulate through the spine. Look up. Feel free to close the eyes as we repeat cat-cow here. Feel the breath traveling all the way to the base of the spine. Great. One more time. And then find your neutral spine, grab the block, place it towards the top of your mat, and slide the hips, take the big toes together, widen the knees. If you have some trouble with child's pose, you can always come onto your back and just hug your knees. And then we're going to bring the hips towards the heels and reach out for that block. So reach out and squeeze the block in between your palms as you bring the forehead, exhale down to the mat. Child's pose here. Squeezing that block. Notice a difference along the arms as you really activate those arm muscles.
And then we'll take the palms to the top of the block. And notice that the heart, so here we're doing more unrounding. So as we inhale, feel that traveling along the arms. And as we exhale, feel the heart melt towards the earth and the shoulder blades come together a little bit. Hammocking the heart. Inhale, take the hands around that block again. Exhale, and we're going to come up through a cat pose onto our forearms. And then take the palms down to the mat. We're going to take the index finger and the thumb around the block. So we have a nice little frame to keep our arms nice and aligned. Inhale into cat-cow here. In a different position. Exhale up. Cow. Forearm. Supported cat-cow. Find your neutral spine again. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, melt the heart down towards the floor, and then up towards the sky. More time. Beautiful. Now come on up to all fours. You can place that block between the thighs again. We're coming back up into downward dog. Bring those heels towards the floor. Maybe begin to feel that stretch through our hamstrings. Come up and down, repeat up and down on those tiptoes to heels. Nice. And then you could feel free to bend the knees as you bring the hands towards the feet. And then you can remove the block from between the thighs and bring the ribs to the thighs in our bent knee position. Hang the head down, releasing the neck. Perhaps releasing a little about that mental flurry, clutter out of the top of the head. And then without the block, we're going to come into chair. So sweep the arms behind the body, reaching up towards the sky, and then sweep down, arms next to ears, peel off the ribs from the thighs. Nice tall spine, standing strong through the feet. Imagine that block between the thighs, and wow, that really warms up the whole leg, length of the leg. Another breath here. We're getting so strong. Stand through those feet and come to standing. Sweep the arms down. Shake it out. Great. Now we'll take that strap again. We're going to make a nice clean transition to our proud warrior stance. So come on down to the bottom of the mat. Inhale. Find your base, exhale, walk the right foot forward. And we're going to step into our proud warrior prep. Right toes facing that top of the mat, back toes angled. And then we've got the heel and the back arch aligned. The strap is in both hands. And find your hip bones pointing forward. And we're going to take that strap behind us and just allow the expansion of that strap to reach between the hands. And keep your gaze forward to begin with, along the back so we can feel that strap along the back body. Just keeping that connection between the hands, between between our fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, bend the right knee and adjust that back foot so we can come into our proud warrior, warrior two. And then bring the gaze over the right fingertips, the right hand. So notice with the strap here, you can keep that awareness to that back hand as well. We want to find balance between both hands. Feel free to
increase the tension on the strap. As you drop that tailbone towards the floor, those low ribs tucked in. Find your still point, your contemplation. Exhale, find your foundational base. And then straighten that right knee, pivot your toes to parallel, release the strap, and come to the other side. Left toes over that way, right toes angled, and let's take that expanse across with our strap. Bend the left knee as you gaze forward, so we're feeling that balance. That pelvis is dropping between those both thighs, so keeping a nice equilibrium there. And then gaze over the left hand. And adjust the tension of the strap along the way. So the idea is often with our warrior two, we can gaze forward and maybe that back body and that back reach doesn't always get its full capacity. Ujjayi breath, breathing into that third eye. Drawing the feet together. Beautiful. Bend that left knee. Bring the toes forward again. Heel toe yourself back to center. Using, and that hinge is coming from the hips, right? So we want to protect the knees. So we're going to come to the bottom of the mat. Actually, yeah, come to about 3/4 of the way down your mat. And we're going to hold the strap like a bit like a jump rope of a jump rope. Yes, fun stuff. So come to hold that like a jump rope behind you, and we're going to come into warrior three. So again, bringing that awareness behind us, which often is harder to do without our friendly props. So let's come into mountain pose, hold the strap like a jump rope so that the flat strap is on the floor behind you. Take your right foot and step on the strap so that the ball of the foot is on the strap. So you can see my stance here. My feet are parallel and I'm just stepping back and holding the tension of the strap on that right foot. Let's find drawing our feet together here as we look forward, and we're going to hinge forward. Before we do that, let's take the hands and travel down the strap so that our arms are in line with the torso. There you go. And then the feet find each other. And now we're going to take either balancing stick or warrior three. Inhale, reach long and tall. Exhale, let's come forward, bringing the weight onto the left foot and staying tall through that leg. Maybe let go of the weight on the right, pressing into the strap, and just adjust as you hinge at that hip in the diagonal direction, reaching with your hands, keeping that tension balanced, and then hinge forward, maybe towards horizontal, keeping those hips squared off. You can balance a drink on your sacrum here if you come into horizontal. So pressing into that strap should make it a lot easier to square off the hips. Gazing softly down. Come on back up. Micro bend that front knee and step down on the right. And we'll switch it up. So bring the right foot forward. Find that balance of mountain pose. Find your center. The spine, and there's a light in front of the spine, right? It's the deep center of the body. And now we'll take the left foot back and step on the strap. Any of these poses are fantastic to just strike a pose during the middle of your day when you want to align and realign. Okay, let's take those hands along the strap so that the arms can be parallel with the body. Find balance between the feet, ball of left foot on the strap. And now we'll take our weight onto that right foot. Keeping that tower nice and strong, step through the back foot, onto the strap, lean forward. Balancing stick, or come on towards our horizontal warrior 3. And if you have to come touch down again, that's fine. That's why the earth is there, supporting us. Beautiful. And again, play with it. Come down, step in a mountain, stepping off the strap. Take the strap to the side. On the floor, we'll be using it down there as well. Stay in that place on your mat. And now try that, taking the arms to the side of the body, just like as if the strap was there. Step forward with your right foot. Did we just step on the left or we stepped on the right? So let's do left foot forward. Keep the arms next to the body. And then as if that strap was there, let's hinge. And keeping the arms nice and long, pointing down towards that back foot, hinge. Notice the difference if you imagine that support there. Exhale brings you back. Step back to mountain. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, step forward with the right foot. Geesh, sorry, folks. And then lean forward, stepping imaginary strap on that left foot. Come back to mountain. Bottom of the mat. Beautiful. Inhale the arms above the head. Exhale, swan dive yourself down to the mat. Feel free to bend the knees or not, depending on your back desires. Hang the head down in our forward bend. And then walk the hands out to down dog. And you can come to all fours or down dog just for a few breaths here. A pause in between our standing and floor work. So the idea with these props is we're also creating this pathway for the brain to remind us that, we have a bigger support system in this body than we can sometimes imagine. You don't have to just be flying out there in space. You can remember that body memory of something there to balance you, to strengthen you. Exhale. If you're not down on all fours, come down. And then we'll bring the hips back to the heels. Momentary child's pose here. Inhale, lengthening out through the arms. Exhale, forehead down. Find the still point, third eye. And then gently roll onto your back and grab the block. Great. Some more core work here. Ease yourself down, skull to sacrum alignment. Take those feet hip width apart, knees hip width apart, and the block between the thighs so that they maintain that hip width. Arms next to the body, lengthening, draping out, shoulders melt towards the mat. Prepping for a beautiful flowing bridge here. Inhale, curl the tailbone up, and we come up into bridge, squeezing that block, pressing the arms into the mat. Now see if you can reach that hand down and grab the block. And then take the block into your hands, between the palms, reach up towards the sky. And remember, we were taking that nice squeeze of the block earlier. Let's keep that same squeeze and reach the block on an inhale above the head, arms next to the ears. I have to move down a bit. And then the block comes to the floor, feeling that length, fingertips to knees, and then reach, keeping the squeeze on the block, reach it up towards the sky, and then place it between the thighs. Drape the arms down, and then snake the spine. Touch down briefly. Come on back up, inhale, hips up. Squeeze the block, and then grab it with your hands, reach up. Follow your breath, feeding your spine. And then take the block between the thighs, extra squeeze there. And you'll notice as we repeat this motion, really getting those hamstrings and glutes activated, the lower core. Reach up and behind you. And block between the thighs. So a gentle dance here, flowing undulation of the spine. This is a little bit of a journey through the entire body, noticing with our witnessing of those larger muscles that we can recruit anytime to support our movements. One more time, hips up, grab that block. And now this time, don't put the block between the thighs, rather put it underneath your sacrum. And rest the sacrum on the block. Should feel really good. And then the arms can just drape next to the body, really opening through that sternum. Straighten the left leg, straighten the right leg. And keeping the feet in mountain pose, or Supta Tadasana. You can really feel the lift and the awareness of our last week's theme, psoas, that long muscle, flexion muscle, getting a stretch here. Inhale, exhale, support of the earth beneath us. Take one foot to the floor and then the other. And then take the feet together, knees out wide, supported Baddha Konasana. Supta Baddha Konasana. So press the feet together. Again, another meeting point of our the palms of the feet, right? Pressing those together. And with the hips lifted. More fluidity through those hip joints. Allow the thighs to settle a little bit with the exhale. Pressing through the length of the arms. You can press into the sides of the feet. See if you can test some strength here, lifting the hips up off the block. So you feel those glutes engage. And then come on down to the block. Settle again. hip opener, beautifully supported hip opener. Take one foot to the floor and then the other. And then we'll lift the hips up off the block and snake ourselves down. Nice job with that handoff, that block bridge. Very good for the core. Move your props aside, except for the strap. And we'll take that strap and do a nice luxurious twist. Inhale the left knee towards the face. Lasso the strap around the ball of the left foot. And let's take a hamstring stretch up towards the sky, heel up, take yourself to the diagonal, relax the shoulders, drop into that left hip socket. Inhale, exhale, find another drop into that hip socket. And you can slide your left heel across the body towards the right hip. Another awesome everyday stretch here. And then come on back up to neutral. We're going to bridge up and take ourselves into a twist with the left heel comes down to the floor, right knee bent, and grab both sides of the strap with your right hand. So imagine there's a block behind your sacrum. You can even put a block back there so that you have a nice perpendicular right angle with your pelvis to the mat. Left hand to the heart, elbow to the sky. Come and do a long twist here with the arms long, long collarbones. Remember that thoracic jacket. So we'll see if we can just imagine it on the upper back. Rotation of our rib cage. So press into the right elbow and see if you can ease yourself a little more into this twist. Gazing over the left fingertips. If you find your back right toes with that left hand, no problem. Or if you don't, no problem. Ujjayi breath. And then release this. Swing that arm back to meet the other. Guide your leg back up, up, and release. Inhale, right knee towards the chest. Lasso that ball of the foot. Drop into your right hip. And then slide the right heel towards the left hip. Feel that connection. We've woken up so many micro muscles today with our props. You can feel them buzzing. And then come on back, reach that leg towards the sky, bridge up and come onto your left side. Right foot comes down to the floor, hold the strap with your left hand. And your beautiful 90 degrees between the pelvis and the mat. Right hand to heart, elbow to the sky. Open up those ribs to the right. Gazing over the right fingertips. Press into that left elbow.
Feel the crisscross of that strap jacket on the back of the ribs. Keeping that mind's eye awareness. Release. Come back onto your left side. Hands together. Support that leg reach. Bend the knee. Release the strap. And for a transition into Shavasana, just to celebrate one last little prop here, I encourage you to do a supported fish for a few rounds of breath. You can roll your blanket or the edge of that blanket. Bring the back of your shoulder blades to the blanket. Roll and ease the back of the head onto the mat or onto part of that blanket. Keep the arms out into cactus or out into our wingspan, fingertips to fingertip extension. Feel a lift of the sternum up towards the sky. Keep the knees bent at first. Feel your breath supported by this lift. This is supported fish pose. If you'd like to lengthen out your right leg or your left leg, you can do that. Flop the feet out to the side and release. Drape your spine over this prop, the blanket. Witness the changes you've made in the body. If there's release you've noticed, if there's remaining tension, oxygenate through the breath. Release through your exhales. Surrender. Roll the shoulders towards the earth. Back to that soundtrack of your breath. And if your next exhale brings you to a place where you'd like to remove the blanket underneath you, you can do that, or you can remain here with that support. Using the support of our props, we've got a full engagement. Full energy flow. Crown of the head. All the way down the spine, down the arms to the fingertips. All the channel of the spine to the tailbone, the pelvis. Down the legs, the feet, all the way to the ends of our toes. Let's inhale with our whole body and exhale with the whole body, feeling that unity. Our mind, body, and spirit. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bend the knees and the elbows. Roll onto your right side.
Join me as we come to a seated position. Hands at the heart in Anjali Mudra. Thanks so much for practicing and playing with me today. Namaste.